Alive.
We're live at last.
It just seems like every time we try to get a recap, you end up in some jungle or rebel territory.
Yeah, I disappeared to Chiapas for a while, and it took me a while to recover. To be honest, it's a mad place. It's very very political. Very it's on the border with Guatemala, so it deals with a lot of immigrants. It deals with a lot of government intervention. There's apathy
Hmm.
still going on. There's foreign companies coming trying to buy up everything. Besides that, there's about 20 different churches trying to influence their flock of the poorest and probably, I suppose, less educated people in Mexico. That's the worst part about it.
Did you run into any kooky missionaries there?
No, but I did see like in the communities in the jungle, the main building would the best building would be a church of I don't know what the Hebrew.
That's always the case, yeah.
It's insane. I hadn't seen it for a while, and what was interesting is that I get on one of these combi buses to go between villages, and there be suddenly there be a conversation between two of the people on the bus about why the best medicine is Jesus Christ, or they'd be discussing these bizarre topics. I'd have to sit there for 3 hours listening to them, comparing stories about why Jesus saved them or how Mary showed them the way. Just
You are deep in the heart of ignorance country
yeah,
there. That's why the missionaries love being there because it's so easy to influence these people and it's so easy to exploit them for their own purposes. I
yeah.
mean, these stateside churches make a killing in Central America from these
Mhm.
missions, and people just don't realize it. That's a book idea right there, all in itself. So you
Yeah,
missed you missed out on quite a bit. I think. Did you actually even see the new website yet?
I have Tony. It's a wonderful piece of design. No, it's great. When I did go on, as I did relay to you, I enjoy the fact that it's there's so much stuff on it. It's
Hmm.
more streamlined. I like it, and I think it's getting a lot more hits as well. That's what's great. That's what's great about it. There's a lot of people commenting on
Well, it definitely is helping the navigation. That was my biggest beef with the old theme, was it just made navigating around really difficult. So it was a lot of work. It was a lot of work getting that thing up to where it is now. But I think it's set for a while. Let's hope we see some benefits from it.
Yeah, now I just need to
One of the things that I like. Hmm?
I just need to start contributing, and then it's gonna take off.
Yeah, well, one of the things that I like, you need to do that, that's for sure. But one of the things that I like is we now capture all the comments and all the feedback on the posts, whether they're from Facebook or from Twitter. So there's a real centralized way now for all the comments to feed into the blog, which is something I've been trying to do for months. So we
What
finally managed to get that done.
What's good as well is that we're able to put up whatever we want too. I mean, you couldn't have put up that post with the beheaded girl on Facebook. You would have got banned.
Well, I did put it up where I posted it on the blog and it's syndicated out to Facebook, to Twitter, to Tumblr. And it's funny how only complaints we got were on Facebook. The people are just like, oh, I didn't need to see this on my feed. I need to see some beheaded girl on my. I was eating my breakfast. And it's like
No,
there was a lot of drama. So This time I decided to be proactive, and I decided, okay, you know what? I'm going to take it off Facebook. I'm going to replace it with an announcement. But it's still on Tumblr, it's still on Twitter, getting shared like crazy. And it's funny how there's just no drama. The one thing that happened, I think you saw today, on Tumblr we got a response from a Muslim who posted, "Oh, Islam is a religion of peace, and we're not all like that." And what did you think of my response?
Well, what I thought was good was that you challenged them I don't know who you challenged. You challenged somebody. I can't remember. Was it the one who originally posted or somebody who responded supporting her? You just said, "Well, show me the organized Muslim movement that is against beheadings or against this sort of thing." There isn't one that I can tell anyway, and they couldn't announce one. So I mean,
I only needed one.
Yeah, but no, there isn't. So it's good to point out these things. But the people still just, I suppose they respond with silence because they don't have anything to respond.
It's funny how there's a lot of people who are much more apologetic for Muslims than they are for Christians Christians and Catholics, because nobody ever wants to give them slack when they proselytize to everybody. But Muslims, for some reason, they get a pass. And I think that Muslims are the ones who deserve a pass the least, because there is no resistance. There is no protest to the fundamentalists. They're cowards. I understand if you live in a country that's full of fundamentalists and you're afraid of getting your head chopped off. But there's a lot of Muslims in countries where they're not afraid of that happening, and they don't speak out. Explain that to me.
They don't have an argument. I mean, they said that Islam's a religion. What they talk? I don't know. I don't know. Their definition of peace is slightly different. I'm thinking.
But I mean, so that was the big dialogue, the big debate that has been ensuing. And I've gotten called out. I've gotten people, it's like, saying all kinds of shit, but they can't back it up. Just like you noticed that one guy, I just wanted to look, just give me one organization that is of active Muslims. Ex-Muslims don't count. If you're an ex-Muslim, if you're a Muslim atheist, that doesn't count. You have to be an active Muslim who's trying to progress your religion. It doesn't exist. It just doesn't exist. And that's what gets me frustrated, is that people try to paint this broad brush and say that, oh, there are Christians that are just as bad, there are Catholics that are just as bad, there are Jews that are just as bad. But every one of those religions has a sect, has somebody that is bitching. They're complaining. They're trying to drag their religion at least into some kind of modern times. It's a fact. Even in Catholicism, there are progressive Catholics. There are Catholics who are pro-gay and pro-choice. And yeah, they're cafeteria Catholics. They don't even qualify to be Catholics, but they're still trying to drag their religion into the modern age. I mean, many people are even saying that Pope Francis is a modern Catholic.
Oh, yeah. He's coming out a lot.
Do you buy that? Do you buy it?
No, not at all. Not at all. He's trying to keep the flock he has. It's bullshit. Total bullshit.
Yeah, I think it's just a lot of public relations. I think the Pope is trying to just play up to everybody, but when it comes time for him to actually do something, what does he do? Like there's a priest in Australia who got excommunicated for being pro-gay, for supporting gay marriage. Only the Pope can excommunicate a priest, you know?
Words again, that's all it is. Just words.
Yeah. Well, I got a lot of flack because of my response to the Muslim girl, because she was very nice. She was, oh, peace be unto you. And just so you understand, we don't condone this. It's not part of our religion. And I just said, listen, why are you complaining to me? You should be complaining to the people in your religion who are doing this stuff in the name of your religion. You should be screaming at the top of your lungs. I don't see it. And until I see that, I'm going to be just saying, hey, Islam must somehow accept this and approve of it because they're letting it happen. They're not speaking out. I mean, 3 girls got beheaded in Indonesia because they were walking to school. 3 Christian girls got their heads chopped off. That was a picture that upset everybody. And, I mean, it is what it is, right?
It's upsetting. That's the point, right? That's the point. Is like no one's going to look at it and go, "Wow, that's great," unless they're a fundamentalist.
Isn't it funny how, and one of the commenters made this interesting point. He said, when you do a cartoon about it, everyone thinks it's funny. Like, how many cartoons we have of, infidels or dissenters getting their heads chopped off? And everyone thinks that's okay. But as soon as you post a real picture of it happening, all bets are off. What is that? What kind of hypocrisy is that? And I think that I was put off by the picture. It jarred me. And it's not the first one I've seen. I get about 5 of those a day on my feed. I posted one. And everyone goes batshit.
Yeah,
I don't get it. Honestly, I don't get it.
Maybe it's just the reality is too much. It's like, but when I came here to Mexico first, I heard all about the beheadings and the murders and the multiple, I don't know, the bodies getting chopped up. But it was only when I actually saw the photographs that it hit me. Like, fuck, it's really intense.
Hey, remember when I posted about those Bangladeshi bloggers a few months ago? And there was a picture of one of them, the body like in the woods, no head, and I posted it on the blog, and nobody said a thing. Nobody said anything about it. And I even posted my caption on it was, no, look at it. I want you to look at this. Because the guy lost his head for simply saying what we say every day.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's the reality to me, is that I'm bitching, I'm lampooning, I'm insulting, I'm calling people all kinds of names for being the idiots that they are every single day, and I still have my head. These guys go on, they post one thing promoting secular views in a Muslim country, and all hell breaks loose.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, I'm getting distracted because I'm getting cold.
I saw somebody creeping behind you there.
No.
Well, I mean,
the
go ahead.
people. No, the point is people are freaked out by the reality. That's it. No.
Well, this is my new tactic, my new strategy is I'm going to post something, and if people on Facebook whine and bitch about it, I'll take it off. I'll take it off. Because now we have other options. Now we have other venues. And all I got to do is say, hey, you want to look at it? It's over there. That's fine with me. I don't care about that. The less I have the Facebook police breathing down my neck, the better. Honestly, I don't care anymore. Now I'm not dependent on Facebook to be our outlet. It's not our main outlet anymore, and I'm happy about it.
Mm-hmm.
So, what about the government shutdown? What do you think of that?
What do I think about the shutdown? Well, as like everybody else outside of the States and probably in the States, I don't really understand what the fuck's going on. You're gonna have to fill me in there, Tom.
I'll give you the summary. What's happening is Tea Party, about 80 members of the House that are Tea Party demagogues, are basically holding a gun to the rest of the party's head and telling them that they can't approve of the budget because it includes money for Obamacare. They tried to repeal it. They tried to defeat it. They brought it to the Supreme Court. They lost every time. Now they think that this is the way to sabotage a law that's been passed. It's already been implemented. It just got implemented even more on the 1st of October. And they think by doing this, they're somehow going to make Obama cave. But you know what? It ain't working. It is not working. But what it is doing is it's creating this mess with the government that's going to probably take the government weeks, if not months, to recover from.
They're not doing much for their party, are they? I mean, the Republican Party's getting hammered over this.
And it's deserved, because you know what? Boehner has the votes. He has the votes in the Republican Party to get the bill passed, to get the budget passed. He's got the votes, but he won't put it on the floor because he's scared of the Tea Party. Everyone's fucking scared of the Tea Party. And the funny thing is that I've always said the Tea Party's been engineered by the plutocrats who really run everything, and I still believe that. I still believe the plutocrats don't really care about some short-term losses in order for them to destabilize the system to the point where they can control it 100%. Because if they had 100% control, Obama wouldn't have won the last election.
Mm-hmm. That's the point.
That's what I think.
Mm-hmm. So what? It's going to rumble on for a few more weeks, or what? Like, what's the? Is there a plan? Do they have a plan behind this, or is it just stay shut down until what?
No, they're basically coming. It's coming, finally hitting them that this was just not a good move politically, economically, and there's a midterm election coming up in 2014. There are a lot of House seats that are going to be up for grabs in the election. And I can assure you of one thing. There's one thing I can assure you. There are several fence-sitting seats. There are seats that, they're in districts that are literally 50-50, Democrat, Republican. And they can't be gerrymandered to shit like a lot of these House seats have, which is why these Tea Party fuckheads won. Because of gerrymandering. But there's a lot of seats, a lot of districts where they can't get away with that. And that is going to be a huge determination in the next election. So basically what they've done is they've destabilized any power base that they had in the House.
It's kind of stupid, really, isn't it?
It was like suicidal. I mean, it's bad enough that they still insist on driving the rest of the country off a cliff to make their point. But what they've done now is they've destabilized themselves. And if anything, they've given the Democrats a lot of clout that they would have had otherwise. If they had just let this budget pass, if they had just let the budget pass without resistance, what they would say, oh, see, look, we can work with the Democrats. We can be bipartisan. It would have been no skin off their backs. Why? Because they've been fighting Obamacare since it passed. And they can still keep fighting it. They could have still kept fighting it. But now they have literally nailed their own coffins. I mean, there's just no easy way out of this for them. And the longer it lasts, the worse it's going to be for the Republicans.
Oh, yeah.
It's as simple as that.
I really enjoyed watching Jon Stewart. Yeah, That was one.
Oh, John
And
Stewart skewered him yesterday. He absolutely skewered him. It was beautiful. So it's been a hell of a couple of weeks. And hopefully now that you're back from the wilderness and
well, no,
things
you
are reasonably level.
go in the wilderness of not having my own laptop. So
Walmart's calling.
art is calling. I'm going to have to try and wiggle my way in there and find some way of getting connected so that it can be more regular. That's the
Well, we'll take it day by day, Ian.
okay. We'll do it day
We'll
by day.
get you back up to speed.
Oh yes, my own personal self-inflicted shutdown has to come to an end.
Are you doing this as some form of a collateral protest? Is that it?
Yeah, it could be actually. That's what it could be. That's it could be an unconscious thing, maybe.
Mm. All right. Well, I think that was it. I mean, that was the main stuff I wanted to cover.
Mm. Any opinion on the Miley Cyrus Sinead O'Connor thing going on now?
Well, I read the open letter. I actually thought Sinead O'Connor made some really valid points, but I think she just gives Miley Cyrus way too much credit.
Yes.
Miley Cyrus is not that talented.
No, she does have to use her body to get attention.
Exactly, but I think that was the big thing. It was like, well, wait a minute. I've only listened to a couple of Miley Cyrus songs, and that was almost by force. It was almost because I couldn't escape it, and it's just no talent there. I'm sorry.
What my,
And
my
the whole
the
go ahead.
only reason I bring it up is because of the whole Miley Cyrus response to Sinead O'Connor, just kind of saying, "Oh well, you have mental health issues," which is really irritating to me because that's an area of stuff that I'm very interested in working in, and the fact that her gets the mic to say to the world, "Oh, you know, Sinead O'Connor's crazy," and I think it'll be quite ironic in about 10, 15 years when Miley Cyrus is having a serious breakdown and doesn't.
I think it's going to happen sooner than that. I think it's going to happen sooner than that, personally. And again, I mean, I'm no fan of. I think the state of popular music is just so bad right now. I listen to as little of it as possible. I'm just too old school. But like I said, sometimes I just can't escape it for whatever reason, and it's just bad. It's just bad. So
One last comment. Did you see Justin Bieber getting carried up the Great Wall of China?
no, I missed that.
Oh, I've been catching up on all my pop news. It's like he's being
That
carried Prince. That's the state of pop music. It's horrible.
I was just gonna say, let that be the state of pop music. Justin Bieber being carried off the Great Wall of China. Let that
Maybe
paraphrase it all.
could be a regular feature where we just talk about pop at the end of the hangout.
Okay, we'll make that our footnote. That'll be our coda from now on.
Yes.
The current state of bad pop music.
Mm.
So, other than that, I guess we're good.
We're good to go.
Any parting thoughts other than Justin Bieber?
Justin Bieber. That's all I gotta say. That's enough. Think about it. That's where we are in 2030.
Thanks, Ian. Now I have that image etched in my head.
Go Google.
Miley Cyrus and Justin Bieber. Thanks.
There you go. Happy Friday.
So, all right. Well, I guess we'll go ahead and sign off for this one. And on behalf of Ian in Mexico and me, I'm back in Helsinki now. We'll see you guys on the blog and the page.
That's Finland
Keep it
all.
coming with the comments. What was that?
That's Finland for all you Americans who don't
Oh,
know.
yeah, Finland, exactly. And no, not everyone has Finns in Finland.
Yes.
So please, no more questions. So thanks a lot for everybody's input on the blog and the page. We'll see you guys out there, and We'll be back with another recap, hopefully in less time than it took for us to make this one.
Yes.
Okay, Ian, I'm holding you to that.
Good aim. Good aim.
All right. So for now, we're ending broadcast now.